Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our science lesson for today, which is still about Unit 5 Home Electricity. Last time we've talked about what electricity is, right? Electricity is what?
Electricity is the energy
Yes, I cannot hear you very well, Sasinok.
what can
It's an energy that can make
make
devices what?
devices
Work. It gives
work.
power to
Okay.
devices, yes. Now, there are two sources of electricity. Today, we are going to discuss one of it.
Okay.
Is that- Okay, first, let us go to our vocabulary words for today. The first one is socket. Can you say that?
Socket. Socket.
Socket. Now, when you say socket, there are two words, two sockets that have different meaning, okay? Socket uh, in Thai is what?
เตารับไฟฟ้ารับไฟฟ้า
Yes. Yes, this one is a socket when you are talking about electricity. But there's another socket that means uh, this part of your eye where you connect your eyeball inside here. That's called a socket also. But today, when we say socket, we are talking about this one, the electricity.
Okay.
Next is plug. Plug.
Plug.
Plug in Thai is
Plug.
okay. Now, I know in Thai you say that this one is the plug, right? But actually,
Yes.
this is the plug. All right. The last one is bill. Bill
Bill.
in Thai is
By sending
okay. Again, how do you read the first word?
socket.
In the next one,
Plug.
plug, and the last one is
Bill.
okay. Now, please turn off your microphone.
Okay.
Turn off your microphone, everyone. Okay. Before we start with our topic for today, I have a short game for you. Okay, can you see it?
Yes.
It is like a USB charger, do you know?
Yes, I
Yes,
know.
yes. Now it says charge me. So if it is facing this way, do you see this? Ah,
Yes.
if it is facing down like this, then I have to press this to flip it and then insert. Okay, now you can see there's a battery here. It means you have to be fast because you are losing energy. So if it is
Okay.
down here, flip, insert. Or if it's like this, then it's correct. Just go put it. Do you understand?
Yes.
This one is upside down. Correct. Okay. Now you tell me, we have to be fast, okay? You tell me if I will press this one. If I should press this one, you tell go. You say go, okay? And I will press this. And then if I have to change, you can just say change. Change.
Okay.
So I can press this, okay? Go change. You can turn on your microphone. Okay. This one is go change.
Go.
Okay, ready?
Okay.
Go,
Ready.
right?
Go. Change.
Go because it's
Change.
correct.
Change. Go.
Be fast, be really fast.
Go.
This one is
Change.
don't change, it's correct already. Go.
Go.
How about this one?
Go.
Go, yes. Oh no, we lose.
Go. Go.
Okay, again, one more time.
Go.
Change first.
Change first.
Go.
Go. Change first.
Change. Go.
Uh, go. Go.
Go.
Change.
Oh no,
Oh.
too slow. I will send this to you so you can try.
Okay. Yeah.
There's the link. You have to be fast. Is it working? Are you doing it? Oh no. Are you How many points do you have now? Okay, for 2 more minutes and then we will stop the game so we can start with our topic for today. Okay, everyone stop with the game. Look at Teacher Danica's screen.
Okay.
Okay, everyone stop with the game. Look at Teacher Danica's screen, alright? Our topic for
Yes.
today is about electricity from the mains. There are two sources of electricity. You can either use the mains or batteries, okay? Today we are going to talk about one, electricity from the mains. Now, I will show you this one. Electricity from power stations comes in the mains. Do you remember what's a power station? What is a power station?
Yes.
What
It's
is it?
like
The
the man means wearing train. Electricity connect with the system. Yes.
system inside the house. Yes. Now, remember what is a power station?
Power station.
A power station is like a factory, right?
Factory.
Yes, a
Yes.
factory where we produce, where people produce what?
Produce
What do they make inside the power station?
electrics
Electricity. Yes,
power.
it is a factory which produces electricity. Now, electricity from the power stations comes in the mains. It means the mains are the wires carrying electricity to connect with the system inside the house. Now, as you can see, we have here some wires. These are wires. What do you call wires in Thai? Hmm? What do you call
Wire.
wires? Wires like this for electricity. Wires, wires, wires. Wires
How
like this,
fast?
right?
Na. Yes.
Okay, now it means from the power stations they make electricity there. They produce electricity there. Now, how does the electricity from the power station reach our home or the devices inside our house? They are traveling through wires. Electricity is traveling through wires. They move from the power station through the wires going to our house and going to the devices inside our house. That when you say the mains, it means we are using wires. Wires, okay? This one, this word wires. It means you can see wires like this, wires like this. It means when you are using the mains, it means you are using the electricity from the power station. Do you understand that? Mhm. Okay. Now, electricity from the mains are from the inside of the walls. What do we mean by wall? This one.
Oh.
What is wall?
And
Okay. Now, usually, the wires for the electricity are hidden inside the wall. Although sometimes you can see them, just like here at the school, you can see them outside the wall. But for your houses, I guess they are inside the wall. Okay. Now,
okay.
i- do you see this one? This one is called a breaker. This one
Breaker.
controls, yes, this one controls the electricity in your house. If you switch this off, if you turn this off, then you will not be able to use the electricity at home. You cannot use the socket in your home. You cannot use the switch in your lights, okay? Now, this one is connected to the electricity from the socket and also from the wire outside your house. Do you see posts or like this? I show you the picture so you can understand. This one here, do you see? Do you see something like this outside the street?
Yes, this
Yes,
one.
right? This one is like a post which holds the electric wires, right? Now, from the socket at home, for example, there's a socket here. Now, the socket is connected to the wire and then going outside your house and then going to the power station. That's how you get electricity. From the power station, they make the electricity and then it will go to the wires, and then inside the walls of your house and to the socket. That's how electricity from the mains move or how they work. Anything which plugs into a wall socket uses mains electricity. It means if the device has a plug and then you need to insert it to the socket to get electricity, it means that device is using electricity from the mains. Everything that uses the socket, it means uses the mains because you get electricity from the walls. Okay. Now, a socket is where we plug in electrical equipment. This one is what you call a socket. But in Thai, you call this plug, right? You say plug
Yeah.
here, but this one is actually a socket. This one is the plug. This is the plug. Okay, this is a socket. This is a plug. Now, a socket is where we plug in electrical equipment. Turn on your microphone. It is where we plug in electrical equipment. It means if you want to use a device, you have to insert the plug to the socket to get electricity. Now, the plug is the one that is being connected to the device and then to the socket to get electricity. Okay, I will show you different kinds of plugs and sockets. Let me show you. I think it's hard for you to understand that. This one here. This one is what you call a socket. Okay, there are many kinds of sockets. For example, hmm, let me show you. For example, this one here. Do you see? There are different kinds, many kinds.
Yes.
Yes, like this. For example, this one. If it uses this one. If it uses three bars like this, three metals, then your socket should fit, should be like this also. It should has three holes also so that the plug can fit inside. Now, if you have something like this, if your plug looks like this, it has two flat bars like this, then you can insert it on this kind of socket. The socket should has bars like this also. Now, if you use this, it looks like a smiley face, right? Like a smiley. Now, because your device has a plug like this, two round bars and a flat one. Okay, it means your plug should fit into your socket. Now, what if you don't have the correct socket? How will you use the device? For example, you have a device like this, and then your socket is like this, so it will not fit. What do we do? Do you have something like this at home? It is like a connector.
Yes.
You connect it to the plug so that you can change the tip and it will fit inside the socket. Do you know that?
Yes, I know.
Yes, so that it will fit into the socket. Now it says if if your device has a plug and a wire and it is inserted into a socket, it means that device is using electricity from the mains. Okay, now how does electricity from the power station reach the mains in your house? I will show you a video about that. I'll show you a video about that.
Okay.
Wait a minute.
Teacher, yeah, I am here.
Okay. Okay, can you see it? And just turn off your
Where does the
microphone.
electricity from my video game come from?
That's a great question. The electricity we use is delivered to us by PSEG Long Island. It comes from far away and from different kinds of power plants. For example, power plants can use coal, natural gas, or oil to make steam. Some plants
As you can hear, it says plant, power plant. When you say power plant, that's the same as power station. In your book, it says power station, but some people call power stations as power plant. Okay, they're the same. Now you will see many kinds of power stations here. In the upcoming weeks, I will be explaining how do these power stations work.
use nuclear power. There are also natural sources of power from dams, hydroelectric plants, solar arrays, and wind turbines. The plants use these power sources to turn a generator that has huge magnets and wire coils inside. The magnets begin moving, generating currents of electricity in the wire. Usually, power plants have several generators running at the same time that produce a lot of power. The power is transmitted at high voltage and then distributed at low voltage so that we can use it in the house.
When you say voltage, high voltage, low voltage, when you say voltage, that is how strong the electricity is, the power of the electricity. Now, it means from the power stations, after producing the electricity will be very, very strong. It says high voltage. It means very strong. It will not be suitable for your devices at home. It means they are very strong. So if, for example, you want electricity to reach your home, they have to change the voltage first. From very strong, from high voltage, the electricity will travel through the wires and then going to some machines, some grids, okay, to transform. And this one is called a transformer. It's not a transformer robot, okay? It's a transformer like a machine that will change the voltage or the power of the electricity from high voltage for the super strong electricity. After it travels here, the electricity will be in low voltage now. It means um, weak. Okay, not very strong anymore, and it will be suitable for the devices at home. It will be good for your devices at home. It will not explode anymore because some sockets, some devices have different voltages. It means in some countries they use 220 volts. In some countries they use 110 volts. That's how strong the electricity is. Now, for example, the socket in your house has 200 to 220 volts. Okay, that's the power of your electricity, 220. Now, your device also needs 220 volts. So if your device needs 220, it should be using the socket that has 220 also. But some devices only use 110 volts, okay? For example, you have a charger. Your charger says 110 volts only. It means you have to insert it into a socket that has only 110 volts. If, for example, your device needs 110 volts only, and then you insert it to a 220 volts, the device will explode or can get broken, right? It will explode or it will get broken because the electricity in the socket is way too strong for your device. It is strong for your device. That's why people have to check first before you insert devices in the electricity, especially when you go to another country. In Thailand, the electricity is different. When you go to America, the electricity is different. So maybe you have a device from Thailand and you use it in America. Maybe it will explode or it will get broken because they do not fit. Understand that?
Transformers are used to raise the voltages 69,000 or 138,000 volts, which allows for more efficient transmission to substations miles away or into a network that connects to other power companies, so electricity can be shared efficiently. High voltages are dangerous, so power companies put the high voltage wires up high on transmission towers to get the electricity to a substation. There, it can be converted to about 13,000 volts for distribution to our neighborhood. At this point, the power is still high up on the utility poles to keep it away from people. To use it in our house, there's a transformer on the pole that converts the 13,000 volts to 120 volts. That travels through the wires to the house, then to switches and outlets in the wall. It's dangerous,
Yeah.
though, so we all have to be careful. Electricity is invisible, so you can never tell if a wire is energized just by looking at it. If you ever see a fallen wire, don't go near it. Get an adult.
That's why it says don't go near an electric wire or a pole because this one has a lot of electricity, very strong electricity. All right? It means electricity travels through wires. You don't have to go to the power station and buy electricity, right? Electricity will travel through the wires going to the walls on your house, going to the sockets on your house, in your house. Okay, let's continue. Oh, wait. Okay, let us continue. How do we know if a device uses the electricity from the mains? For example, can you name some devices first that you can see at home? Any device that you have at home?
Lamp,
Hmm? A lamp?
lamp,
Yes.
fan,
Fan?
and air
Yes. What else?
condition.
Yes. Air condition. Now,
Uh,
how do you know if a device uses the electricity from the mains? How can you know if it's the mains that you are using? When the device has wires and plugs or a switch. This one. Devices that use electricity from the mains usually has wires and plugs or a switch. It means, look at this fan. If it has a wire like this
yes.
and also a plug, it means it is using the mains. Or just by using a switch, because switches, like for example, the switch of your light, the switch of your light bulb, it is also connected to the mains. It means it is also using electricity from the power station because this one is connected to your wall, right? And the electricity is inside the wall. The wires are inside the wall. So this one is also using the mains. It means if the device has a wire and a plug or a switch, it means they are using electricity from the mains. Just like at the school, do you remember how the classroom looks like? There's a switch for the lights and
Yes.
some buttons, right, for the fan, right? Now there's a switch in the classroom that if you turn this off, the fan and the lights and the sockets will not turn on, right? It's because they are using electricity from the mains, electricity from inside our walls. Okay. Now, examples of devices that use electricity from the mains. Can you look around you and say some devices that use electricity from the mains
Um,
in
I
your
think
house?
fan,
Huh?
lamp, fan,
Yes.
computer,
Yes.
um,
Computer. A big
air
computer.
condition,
Air condition. What else? TV, microwave.
yes,
Yes. Like the refrigerator,
yes,
washing
washing
machine,
machine,
TV,
TV,
television, right? As you notice, elec- devices that use electricity from the mains are usually devices that need strong electricity, devices that need a lot of electricity, like the refrigerator. The refrigerator needs to be cold, right?
yes,
Yes. Now, before it becomes cold, it uses a lot of electricity. So usually devices that use the mains have to use a lot of electricity because the mains give you strong electricity, a lot of electricity, not like batteries. Okay? Batteries only have a little electricity, but the mains has strong and unlimited electricity because the power station keeps on producing electricity and it keeps on flowing through the wires, going to the wire. That's why we can use electricity from the mains all the time, right? Except for FIDAP, right?
yes,
Yes. That's when the wires are something is broken with the transformers, they turn it off so the electricity cannot travel through the wires and cannot go to your house. Now, this one we're finished with this. Okay, now that's our lesson for today. Very easy, right?
yes.
Now let us go to our word wall activity first.
Okay.
Okay, this is a quiz show. Can you see it?
Yes, I can see.
Okay, we have 5 questions. Number one. It means where wires carrying electricity connect with the system inside the house.
A socket.
Why, where wires? What kind of electricity is that?
The mice.
The mains. right? The mains. Yes, correct. Number 2.
Get ready.
It is where we plug in electrical equipment.
Socket.
Socket.
Not sucker is socket. Not sucker.
Not soccer, that's the football. Next, number 3.
Number 3.
It is what connects the device to the socket in order to get electricity.
Power station.
It's what connects the device. It means the device, how do you put it to the socket?
Plug.
The plug, yes. Number 4. Number 4, it is a factory where electricity is produced.
Power station.
Oh, yes. Easy. And then number 5,
Number 5 is
which device uses electricity from the mains?
refrigerator.
Refrigerator, yes. Correct. All right. I will send this to you. There's the link. So easy. Tell me when you're finished.
Finish.
Are you finished? Okay, now if you're finished, look at the live worksheet. Can you see it? For the live worksheet, don't forget to write your name, grade, and number. Now we have 2 parts, part 1 and part 2. Part 1, you just have to put the words on the line. We have socket, power stations, the mains, switch, and plug. Number 1, blank means where wires carrying electricity connect with the system inside a house. It means what kind of electricity is that?
Socket.
What kind of electricity if it uses wires? The mains, yes. Number 2, electricity from blank comes in the mains. From where does the electricity come from?
Power station.
Yes. Number 3, a blank is where we plug in electrical equipment. Where do we put the plug? Yes. Who is answering? Who's answering? I cannot see your face. Who is it?
I think it's Rawisala.
Ravisara, right? Next, number 4. A blank is what connects the device to the socket in order to get electricity.
Plug.
Plug. And the last one is the blank of our light bulbs are connected to the mains.
Switch.
Yes. Right. For part 2, you are just going to click on the devices that use electricity from the mains. So which devices use electricity from the mains?
Refrigerator.
Refrigerator,
Phone.
fan,
TV.
TV,
That's it.
washing
Washing machine.
machine. And click finish.
Finish it.
Take a picture.
Okay.
Very
Yes,
easy.
very